Okay, I'm back. That probably was better to take a little breather. But along the same lines as your adventurous spirit and love for travel that I share, I remembered you bringing back exotic gifts from places. I don't even know where it was, but you brought back a velvet painting, and I just thought that was the coolest thing in the whole world. I don't know what happened to it. I think once I moved out, Mom got rid of it or something. Definitely not her style, but I thought it was really cool. Anyway, on to you and Aunt Jane. I remember the day that I visited, and you took me in the van to the bank and said you wanted me to meet someone special. And of course, it was Aunt Jane. And I remember just how cute she was and her fun laugh and the twinkle in your eye, talking about her and the excitement going to see her. And I just remember my 9-year-old self just thinking, oh, how cool is this? And asking, oh, is she your girlfriend? And I think you said something like, you're working on it. So anyways, I thought that was pretty cool that I got to be there and see the spark between you from the beginning. And I just wanted to say how much that I enjoyed watching you fall in love, that it was the first time that someone in my life that I loved, that I got to watch the process of someone falling in love. So obviously I paid very close attention and thought it was fascinating and exciting. And then soaked in every little detail. And then onto Aunt Jane. Of course, as I got to know you, I fell in love with you as well very quickly because it was so easy. And it might have had something to do with the fact that you took me shopping. I think y'all were engaged. And same thing. I felt like you actually cared about me as a person and getting to know me as a child. See, I'm going to cry again. But you took me shopping and you bought me my first pair of heels, and they were very short heels. And I remember they were little leather pumps, and I think they were called bandolinos. And I just felt so special that you took the time to take me shopping and buy me a new pair of shoes. And it might have even been my first new pair of shoes because I was the third of girls. So obviously most of my clothes and shoes were hand-me-downs. And I wasn't too thrilled about that, of course. So it was very exciting to get my very own pair of shoes and go on my very own shopping trip. So let's see what's next. Okay. It says, I just thought you were fascinating and eccentric and honest and fun. And I never understood why you didn't like your picture taken because I always just thought you were so naturally and effortlessly beautiful and colorful. And I love the way that you guys laugh together and at each other, with each other, at each other, and how you just seem to get one another and understand one another. And seeing you together just made perfect sense to me. And it was almost like you were made for each other and just fit like two puzzle pieces. You've always shared a friendship and seemed to consider each other while you also pursued your own goals and hobbies, and I really loved that. And it made me think it was possible for me to find a relationship like that because I think that's pretty rare. One that is actually a partnership and a friendship, even if the friend makes you crazy some days or most days. that you can weather any storm together, though, and be on the same team. I think that's pretty cool. I know I need to wrap this up, but just thought that it would be cool for you to see yourselves through the eyes of a 9-year-old little girl that adored you and still does. And when I was a child, there was a picture hanging on the wall in your bedroom at the farmhouse, which I always loved that room and still do, probably because it's purple, which is my favorite color also. But there was a picture hanging on the wall that had a poem on it, and it had 2 big trees on either side of the poem. And I remember reading that poem over and over and over and thinking it was about marriage, and thinking that's the kind of relationship I want to have. And it made me not dread the thought of marriage and being tied down so much, because if I could have a marriage like that, then that seemed pretty cool. And I think that you guys have done a really good job at achieving that. So I was sad because I asked Aunt Jane about it a few years ago, and she didn't remember the picture, because I know things used to come and go a lot, especially with the antique store. But so I was sad, and I thought the poem was lost forever and I'd never find it again. And I was out to dinner with a friend recently, and she was talking about this poem. She's never been married, but said if she ever were, she'd want her marriage to be like this. And the poem was by Khalil Gibran, and lo and behold, it was the same poem that was hanging on the wall in your bedroom when I was a kid. So here it is. I think it's a perfect reflection of your relationship and what I hope for mine to aspire to be like one day when I grow up. Okay, here it is. Khalil Gibran on marriage. You were born together, and together you shall be forevermore. You shall be together when the white wings of death scatter your days. You should be together even in the silent memory of God. But let there be spaces in your togetherness, and let the winds of the heavens dance between you. Love one another, but make not a bond of love. Let it rather be a moving sea between the shores of your souls. Fill each other's cup, but drink not from one cup. Give one another of your bread, but eat not from the same loaf. Sing and dance together and be joyous. But let each of you be alone, even as the strings of a lute are alone, though they quiver with the same music. Give your hearts, but not into each other's keeping, for only the hand of life can contain your hearts. Stand together, yet not too near together, for the pillars of the temple stand apart, and the oak tree and the cypress grow not in each other's shadow. Happy anniversary. I love you.